You're ready? You really are?
A roasted peanuts
I got
guy.
a roasted peanuts.
The defense could use a little bit of improvement, too.
See this afro? We brought this afro out for a reason.
Is it the planners?
Oh, Lord help him.
I'll tell you something about public school.
Now, tomorrow we'll be talking about the Detroit Lions.
There were penises in my math book.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Qwan Young, and welcome to the Qwan Show.
What's up, everybody? What's happening? Where we at? What's going on? It's me, the one and only, Qwan Young. There's the name title for you. That's me. Follow me on Twitter, Quantity Media. I am your host of the Qwan Show, coming to you live from the BetsTV studio on one of the ugliest days, I would say, in California history. I haven't been here that long, but it's ugly outside today. And it kind of hurts my soul because you didn't know, Tony told me when I was a youngin' that it never rains in Southern California. I don't know if you heard that or not. It rarely does. I've been here about 2 years, and it's not raining, but it's got that ugly, I could rain if I wanted to. I could rain on your parade right now if I wanted to type looks, and it's just bringing me down. It's bringing my whole mood down. But I want to let you know what's not bringing my whole mood down. I am on fire this week. I'm up. Listen, this is my first time coming into a Sunday on fire. So I'm about to be firing. We hitting parlays left and right. Parlays to the left of them. Parlays to the right of them. Parlays in front of them. Volley and thunder. That's all day today. I'm up a little bit of money, a little bit of change. I hit a few bets this week. Thanks to the last word cheetah callers. And yesterday, I hit my first college football bet. I've been trying all year to throw some type of parlay together for college football that would land me some bread. Unsuccessful. I think I started about week 3 or so, and then I would fire one. I took a couple weeks off because it was like, whoa, I'm not good at this at all. So yesterday actually, early, I fired, what did I fire? I fired something early. I had App State in 1. They lost. Got smoked. And then I went back to the well. Listen, if it's one thing you're going to learn from me, it's going to be always double down. I don't give a damn how bad it is. You get back in there and you fire another bet. We're not here to be losers. The only way to gamble responsibly is to win. And the only way to win is to keep firing. Now, disclaimer here, if you go into debt or if you have a gambling problem, that's on you. That's not on me. If you listen to me, that's on you. So make sure that you gamble responsibly and win. Otherwise, your family's going to disown you. You're probably going to lose everything, and it's going to be terrible. But I say all that to say this. It's Sunday, and I need to make some money. Christmas is right around the corner. Mike, I don't know if you're listening, but we're trying to save Christmas early, like freeway, early. I got to get my niece some things. She's adorable, and she's cute, and she deserves everything. So I got to get some bets in today. I need you guys in the chat. I need you guys to actually call in. Look, I got the command center up here. I got one computer. I got another computer. I got the Action Network open on my phone. We're looking at anything, any edge I can get. If you got something that you want to put together, if you want to throw me a parlay, I would absolutely love it. I might even throw a straight bet out there today. I don't really do straight bets. Those are scary because I can't put all my eggs in one basket. I don't believe in that. I believe in spreading around the wealth and coming up just a little bit short. That's my motto. We spread the wealth around and we come up just a little bit short. Now today one of the callers from Last Word Cheetah, Jim. I'm not sure if you guys watch Last Word Cheetah, but it's a great show. Daily show. Preston Johnson is the host. He sits right here. I sit at the producer's chair, and we talk about sports daily. So Jim, he hit me up. He was like, hey, man, let's talk football. And me being in the studio alone, doing the show alone, I'm like, absolutely. I would love for Jim to come on and talk football with me. Now, a couple weeks back, Jim went out of his way to say that Mac Jones is probably top 5 quarterback. And Jim has been right ever since he said that. So I'm going to take it upon myself to give Jim another platform to spew off his takes. He's really sharp. A lot of the bets that he make, they hit. He watches film. He says he doesn't really do breakdowns. So, yeah, that'll be something to look forward to. We'll have Jim on in a few. But I want to get back to my week and a couple of other things. So back in the summer when we were just starting up Last Word Cheetah, we had a discussion about a certain quarterback. And I was in the position, or I took the position that Taysom Hill is not a good quarterback at all. So Thursday, the Saints threw him out there. They decide. I don't know if Simeon was hurt. I can't recall. But they threw Taysom Hill out there, and they said, go get her, pal. Go get it, buddy. And boy, did he stink up the joint. Now, listen, I'm not one to brag or boast at all. Not me. Not once. I've never in my life bragged or boasted about anything. But, man, when you're right, you're right. The guy's not a quarterback, and he proved it. I'm going to throw this up as I get prepared for Jim to come on to the show. We're going to give you a little Qwan Show rewind, courtesy of Last Word Cheetah. And this is the discourse surrounding Taysom Hill and his ability to quarterback. Now, this conversation was also had with Derek Brown from FTN. Go check out FTN Daily, FTN Bets, and FTN Fantasy. You know, they help pay the bills here for the Qwan Show. Got some great tools that I've been using to get this money, because that's what you need. You got to get this money. So that's the setup for this. This is the Taysom Hill Discourse Rewind, and I'm going to come back and brag and boast, which I normally never do. I don't brag and boast at all. If you know me, you know I don't brag and boast. Taysom Hill Rewind.
All right, so I was disappointed to end the show yesterday. With about 45 seconds left, you start slandering Taysom Hill's name. I slammed the desk. I waved the helmet like in your face. You're like, oh, he's a BYU guy.
Is that what I sound like?
That's exactly what it sounded like. Of course he is. You knew he was. Tell us why you don't like Taysom Hill. And then we got Derek Brown, friend of the program, over at FTN. You're shouting him out with a shirt over there too. He's going to call in. He said on Twitter yesterday, he's like, I'm Team Taysom as well. So we high-fived virtually. I said, you got to call in and back me up here because Qwan, no good on Hill. You tell us why, and then we'll let Derek we'll patch him in and he can talk for you.
Don't like is such a, I guess.
You said like he's not a real quarterback or something of that nature.
No, he's absolutely not. He's not an NFL quarterback. He's a gadget player. Like, I understand from a production standpoint and value, like how he's probably a DFS guy, because you're getting a guy who's playing multiple positions. He can rack up multiple points, and that stands out. But from a football game-winning aspect, we're covering NFL futures tomorrow, and I'm doing the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not going to make a Tebow comparison.
Oh, gosh.
But it's the same neighborhood. Like, you're getting a more apt type player. He's a guy that's changed positions. He could do multiple things. Like, you're telling me, I think Julian Edelman, college quarterback, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those like Cordell Stewart, like those guys aren't world beaters. They're going to get you production. You're going to be on your heels on defense. You have to game plan for them because it's a different package. But as far as straight out quarterbacking, Taysom Hill, I wouldn't even say is.
Careful.
Oh, look, you looked at me. Listen,
Careful.
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to say what, or I'm not going to go Anthony and do anything super crazy, but Taysom Hill's not a top 32 quarterback. He's not a starting quarterback in this league.
All right, Derek, let's patch him in. Welcome to Last Word Cheetah, by the way, I think for the very first time. We hung out in Frisco and Dallas a little bit a couple weeks back. Back me up here. Tell Qwan why he's wrong. I can't be the one that does it because technically I'm biased. I went to BYU. I'm a huge Hill homer. But you give us like the in-between but unbiased perspective here.
What's going on, guys? First-time caller, long-time listener. I can't believe I'm sitting here in the green screen waiting for you to bring me on, and I can't understand and listen to this slander from Qwan, man. This is insane. What is – did you just compare him to Tim Tebow? I can, understand.
I mean, that's an
people
exaggeration.
make the tight end jokes, but really? This is a man we've seen practice videos that can't even throw a ball 5 yards down the field. Is that really where the hate is going, Qwan?
It's an exaggeration to an extent.
He's backing up already.
He's not a quarterback. I'm telling you, if you give Taysom Hill 10 passes, how many is he gonna play? I know you have it worked out, Derek, because you work at FTN where we have player props and all of this data. So please explain to me on a 10 out of 10 clip, how many times are you trusting Taysom Hill to hit somebody deep downfield or drive you down the field for some type of score? Like for me, quarterbacking is every play, you're making the throws, you're making the reads. Taysom Hill's not an every down quarterback. He's a gadget guy. Like you're not getting, I think football games, you're getting about 60 to 70 plays on both sides of the ball. You're not getting 60 to 70 plays out of Taysom Hill.
So I'll push back on that. If you go back and look at what he did at BYU, his numbers would surprise a lot of people with his accuracy in short and intermediate passes. Is he a great deep ball passer and getting through progressions? No, not necessarily. But what they're going to ask him to do in New Orleans, I think he's going to add enough wrinkles with his legs that he's going to be good enough for them. And the rest of that offense is still amazing. I think the hate's gone too far, Qwan.
So listen, I just want to isolate. I want to isolate one sentence that you said. He's a good intermediate and short ball passer, but he's not going to hit the deep ball. And I believe you said, what was that? It was something else. If you're looking for a quarterback that's just going to kill it underneath, you're not looking for a quarterback, which is exactly what Taysom Hill is.
What are you talking
But
about?
that's what they've done in New Orleans for multiple seasons. That's the whole reason why they don't want Jameis to start.
But that's the issue. If you're just dumping it intermediate, you can't hit deep balls. It's the same thing we're saying about Drew Brees. Drew Brees probably hasn't won a big game because he hasn't been able to move the ball downfield. He's matriculating.
Either of you guys know this. Here's a stat. Taysom Hill doesn't even throw the ball that frequently. Which quarterback over the last 2 seasons has had the most touchdown passes called back on penalties? Interesting. Ooh. I know it's usually trick plays, so the flags are more frequent. They mess something up. He's hit some deep balls that haven't actually registered in his stat profile. Just saying. Something I noted once upon a time.
He's got the arm strength. I mean, I question the accuracy some, but I mean, I'm going to put him with Breeze, who toward the end had a noodle arm left. I mean, he might not be accurate, but he's got a cannon.
I'm with you, Derek. I'm with you. Quan's I think he's cowering over there.
I'm not cowering. If you don't want an accurate deep ball quarterback, I prefer an accurate deep ball quarterback out of anything.
What about one that can run and throw intermediate and short at the same time?
No, I need an accurate deep ball quarterback.
We gotta go to our break, Derek. We appreciate you calling in to just wrap for a few minutes, though, man. Good luck to this weekend, and you enjoy your night.
I don't brag or boast, but you can check out that show and more at BetsTV.com. We got some great talent over here at BetsTV. We got All In with Jake Seeley. We got Wake Up with Ray G. We got Touchdown Town. What other shows we got? We got Matthew Friedman. Last Word Cheetah with Preston Johnson and myself. Go to BetsTV.com and please Check out the content. Go to the YouTube. Subscribe. Like. The more you guys like the video, the less I'll talk. I won't have to ask you for these things if you just like the video, okay? Go subscribe. Go to BetsTV.com. Check everything out. We got Jim. Jim is on the line. Jim, how you doing, man?
You see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Jim, I got to tell you, I didn't expect you to look like this. I thought you were an older gentleman. It's that thick Philly accent. That's what it is. But I'm glad to have you on the show. I'm glad that you are interested enough in the Qwan Show to be on, I would say, at least the top 100 pregame show in America. There probably aren't 100 of them out there, but this is top 100 at least. Jim, what do you got for us today? You sent me some great content, and we couldn't work it out. We'll get on the same page, but just looking at the schedule for today, I know you had a lot of
I can't hear you all the way. It's coming in a little low, but I'll just start with I'm looking at the Giants game first.
Okay.
So I like the Giants here. Last week they played Miami. This week they got Miami. Last week they played the Eagles. They're going to get that same RPO scheme here with Miami. And they played the Eagles really well. And Miami doesn't have the offensive line that the Eagles have. They also don't have the running game that the Eagles have here. So I just think in a total so low of 39.5, you get a lot of value here on Giants plus 6.5. I think Glennon's going to be able to take care of the ball and play better than Daniel Jones. And I like them in this matchup. So that would be my first bet of the day.
Okay. Now, no Daniel Jones, as you stated, Mike Glennon, and you like the total under. I'm seeing a 40 right now, but you said you like it at 39.5. What do you think of Tua as far as can you hear me, Jim?
Yeah, hold on. I gotta
you gotta get some headphones.
Really, really low.
You got some headphones you can throw on?
Let me grab some headphones. I'll call right back.
There you go. We'll get everything situated on that end. Jim will grab some headphones, and we'll get back to that when he hops back on the show. But Daniel Jones is out. Mike Glennon back up. Jim said he likes the total under, and that's one thing I like to look at when I'm throwing down bets is, can the offense still move and maneuver with the backup quarterback in play? We got a couple of quarterbacks out. Jalen Hurts is out for the Eagles, and Kyler Murray is just coming back this week. And you saw the first week that Kyler Murray was out, Colt McCoy, he did the damn thing. And can you have a quarterback step in and at least you want them to manage the game, but you basically just don't want them to turn the ball over. And I think that's the sign of a good offense, a good offensive coordinator is how can you move the ball with somebody who doesn't take the reps that your starters takes. And that's why it's tough to be a backup in this league because you don't get the same number of repetitions, and that's what you need. You need to be in game situations and on the field. So you're telling me that if you can get a guy that can come in, has a little bit of experience playing, starting, with some throws under his belt, how can you get them to get at least a bit of the output that your starter has? So 39.5, Jim likes the total under for that, if I believe what he said. We're waiting for him to come back, but we did get a bet in the chat. I'm not sure if I read it, but Wes Bayer says he likes Atlanta plus 10.5, Las Vegas under 49.5, and Indy minus 5.5 as a first half parlay. So what do you guys have in terms of a player touchdown parlay? 3 or so legs. Need a lock. I'm not a lock guy. You are a player prop guy. Go check out. There's a show on this channel that comes on Touchdown Town with Gil. He does a lot of player props. You can go check him out. He just wrapped the show, I think, about an hour or so ago. He hits a lot of his touchdowns. You can follow him on Twitter too. But yeah, it's I don't, as far as player props, that's not my MO. Listen, we got to crawl before we walk here. I'm just starting to win bets. So don't get me out of pocket too much. But we got Jim back. Jim, can you hear me now?
Perfectly.
There we go. Like the Sprint commercials or T-Mobile commercials, whatever that guy does now.
Hey,
so
we got to work through the kinks. You know,
there
it
we
is
go.
what
We
it
were
is.
talking. We were talking Giants. We were talking Dolphins. We got Chargers, Bengals. Now,
Oof.
Yeah, exactly. Because the Bengals have been so up and down the entire season, and so have the Chargers. It's kind of one of those things where the inconsistency is matching up right now. What do you have in this Chargers-Bengals game?
So I talk about the Bengals a lot on the show, and the problem that I see with them, like Zach Taylor is like, he's just not calling the game well for Joe Burrow. They do like a lot of running from under center. They run the ball too much, and I think if he would just, let Joe Burrow throw on early downs, like his stats would be even better. So it's an offensive line that kind of is overperforming. That's why you see them be so inconsistent. And like I said, it's just there's so many times that Joe's having to bail them out on third down because he's just, running Mixon for 1 and 2 yard gains. Mixon gets a lot of his yards like towards the end of the game when they're holding leads. That's where he kind of starts to wear the defense out. But you'll see them struggle in a lot of games because if he's going to force the run and if he can't get it going, they struggle to score. They have a lot of 3 and outs. And it's a shame because I really think Joe Burrow is the top quarterback in the league. And right now, play calling is the issue. And with them being 7-4, it looks like he's probably going to get another year where this is like a team that really could use a new head coach to call plays.
And that was one thing that me and Preston kind of discussed about Zach Taylor. I know he said he spoke with, I forgot who it was, but he's from under the Sean McVay tree. But Zach Taylor is one of those guys that is just under the Sean McVay tree, and he has no discernible skills as a coach. And you can kind of see it, like you said, with the inconsistencies in the play calling. So, Bengals, Chargers, what are you taking here?
I think you have to take the 3 with the Chargers. I was leaning money line earlier in the week, but this is a stay away from me at this point because you just don't know what Chargers team you're going to get.
Yeah,
they don't stop the run. Sometimes Herbert throws for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. Sometimes he has an awful game. They get blown out. They're uncompetitive against the Ravens. We talked about this game on the show this week. The Chargers offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi, is a former Detroit Lion that you were touching on a little bit, but there's some kind of inconsistency or disconnect between Herbert, Lombardi, and Staley. Like I think Staley wants to be more analytical and pass early on first downs, and whatever Herbert's comfortable throwing, whatever plays he likes, Lombardi's just not calling them. And then there's other times where they're running the ball on first and second down for 2 yards and, 3rd and 8, Herbert is inaccurate and throws a bad ball. So it's a team that you can't wrap your finger on. DVOA is like an analytical stat that kind of showed team value. Chargers are 2nd in the NFL in offensive DVOA, which is just crazy to think like week to week you had no idea what you're going to get. So the talent's there. There's nobody on the Bengals defense that really scares me. The Bengals defense plays better against teams with poor offensive lines. Trey Hendrickson, who was a big loss for the Saints, you're saying this year, is probably their best pass rusher. And but the Chargers got a good offensive line, good pass protection. So I could see the Chargers not showing up here. I could see the Chargers coming out and being who they can be, and taking this game over and beating the Bengals.
There you go. Now, one game you touched on Joe Lombardi. I absolutely despise Joe Lombardi. One of the worst play callers I've ever had the displeasure of watching. Going to the Vikings-Lions game. Do we really need to break this down? No DeAndre Swift. Jared Goff I'm not sure if he's getting the start. But the Lions, 0-10-1. The Vikings, they've been playing down to their level of competition pretty much every game this season. Whether it's a good team, they'll play up. And if it's a bad team, like you saw them play down to the Lions week, whatever it was, when they beat them with the field goal at the last second. What do you see from Minnesota here? Because Kirk Cousins isn't having a terrible year, but it's just he's Kirk Cousins, so he's going under the radar. I think the offense does what it needs to do. It's just they're not winning consistently enough. What is it you see with the Vikings?
You can't put your finger on it. And one rule me and a couple of my friends have on Sundays is like you can't rest your Sunday betting slate, your parlays with Kirk Cousins.
No.
He's got all the stats in the world. He's got a great receiving core, Jefferson and Thielen. Again, this is like the Chargers. Like they just don't they don't show up and beat teams that they should by a lot. And to the Lions, look, I know you noticed, but they can run the ball.
Yeah.
I just don't know what they're trying to do. Like I see them run it well out of shotgun. But it's like the next play they're running under center and having a toss to the running back for -3 yards. Like it's just I don't think they know their identity. And Anthony Lynn, who comes from the Chargers, is a guy that didn't have a good reputation as a play caller in LA, and I think you're kind of seeing it with the Lions. They just can't get the running game together all the way.
Campbell took over the play calling a few weeks ago, and I think that's been a big issue too because he's got that tight end mindset where mash the ball, but they weren't
just like the Saints.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, just like Campbell comes from the Saints, and the Saints have that same style. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And it's like it was killing me because I'm like, get DeAndre Swift the ball in space. You saw the Rams game where he took that screen 70 yards, and if you can find ways to get him the ball in space, he could be a Kamara type because he has that explosive big play capability, and it's just mind-boggling as to why Dan Campbell is calling the plays with very limited experience. I get the Anthony Lynn thing where he wasn't great in L.A., but it's got to be better. I mean, they're throwing check down. They're throwing screen. The draws on 3rd and 23 are killing me. It's like this league isn't that hard to figure out. You get a 50-50 ball. I know Goff can't throw it deep, but you get a 50-50 ball and at least take a shot. Give your offense a chance because you never know. Defensive holding, illegal contact, pass interference, one of those things can turn the drive around. And it's bad because the offensive line, the entire offense, the entire team is so undisciplined. Penalties are drive killers. You just got stupid mistakes that shoot the line. The Lions shoot themselves in the foot, and that's been their MO ever since I've been alive, probably even before then. Probably since 1963 when the Fords took over. So I'm assuming you're going Vikings with the 7?
Yeah, it's Vikings or pass for me, but I wouldn't be too confident about it. But, the Lions kind of been playing above their heads the last couple weeks, and any game could be the Bengals game at home. Any game could be the Eagles game at home. They're just they've been playing so hard for so long, this could be a letdown week for them. So, yeah, Vikings -7 or pass for me.
Okay. All right, we got a division game here. Tom Brady, I believe what I saw was he is 9-0 versus Atlanta all time with the biggest win coming in the Super Bowl. We all know that story. Do you see anything that will change that narrative at all? The line's at 10.5 right now from what I see. Do you think Tampa Bay 10.5 easy money?
No, I would lean Falcons here. I actually would probably play it on the spread. Division game. Matt Ryan's a hot and cold guy, kind of in that Kirk Cousins category. But look, Cordarrelle Patterson's playing really well. And Tampa's defense in general has not been good against the pass all year. In fact, they're so committed to stopping the run that it's almost like they just let you move the ball between the 20s. Kyle Pitts has been slow. He reminds me of Julio, and when Julio was with Atlanta, he would have these games where he would just go off for 10 catches, 200 yards. I think Kyle Pitts is in that category, and this is a get-right game for him, for me, what I see. And I think 10's just too much for Atlanta at home here. Cordell Patterson, like I mentioned before, he's healthy. He's back. I think Atlanta absolutely can move the ball here on Tampa, coming off that win last week against the Jags defense, who I actually like, but we'll get into that later.
There we go. Okay. I like the total under there, man. Like I know Tampa's they're it's different when they don't have all of their weapons. AB got suspended a few games.
True.
And once you lose one of those, it becomes, okay, is it Godwin or Evans or is it Gronk? And I don't think that you have the ability to stop them, but it becomes like you don't get the output that you would normally get when all of them are there. So I don't think Atlanta's going to show up. It's hard for me to say that after the first game when I think it was a high scoring game. I think the total went over because I think I bet it. I remember that being one of the legs of my parlay, but I don't know. I like the total under here for some strange reason. I'm going to stay away from that, though. We got Indy and Houston up next. Now, Indy is the team they're pretty much on the roll. They played Tampa Bay pretty tough last week, and a surprising game for your boy Carson Wentz through the air.
My boy.
What did you think of, or what do you think of the Colts moving forward?
Well, I'll get to the game first. I actually like the under in this game. I think the Texans, look, what do people know about the Texans? Well, they suck, and that's what we know about them. Well, why they suck is their offensive line is just depleted. There's guys that, are on their backs when they run the football. And when you think about it, you shouldn't be on your back as an offensive lineman on running plays. But that's their biggest problem right now. And their coach, who's a veteran guy, David Culley, he just has that old school, I want to establish the run mentality, and they just can't run the football. And they're doing it every week. And that's why this team, it's a crawl for this team to get to 20. They can pass it. Tyrod's played well. They do have some guys they got guys like Cooks. Nico Collins has actually looked pretty good on tape. Brevin Jordan's a young rookie there. But offensively, they're going to continue to run it. Now, David Johnson, who's cooked, the guy shouldn't be on the field, but I'm pretty sure he's out today. And Rex Burkhead actually has looked better and had some juice, breaks tackles. So I look for Rex anytime touchdown to me is a good value bet there. But I don't think the Colts should have many problems with Houston today.
All right. We can move on then. I like it. Arizona, Chicago. First, I believe Kyler Murray is returning. First time in a few weeks. No Justin Fields. Andy Dalton. What do you have? I think the Cardinals are the best team in the NFL. Just bar none. They had the slip, the mishap with Carolina, but without your star quarterback, without DeAndre Hopkins for a few weeks, they have maintained their level. They played at a high level, and that's all you can really ask for your team. Like we said earlier, I think you were going to get your headphones, but if you can play well with a backup in, you want to keep that. Those are things that bring the team together, and you can build upon that. So you're getting Kyler Murray back, who is, I believe he's still top 5 in the MVP candidates. I don't think he wins it based off the fact that, they've been winning without him, but he is an MVP caliber quarterback this season. And I'm shocked at how well Cliff Kingsbury is doing, because I was completely out on him. Yeah, completely out on him before the season started. But this team is going. Do you see this as a letdown spot at all in Chicago against a backup in Andy Dalton who's capable, and they're at home. I think the weather conditions, it's a cold, rainy day. What do you see in the Arizona-Chicago game?
No, I don't see Chicago competing here. If I had to pick one of my top plays, it's definitely the Cardinals. Open at 7.5. I think it's starting to get to 8.5 as we're speaking. But this is the best team in the NFL. Also reminds me of my 2017 Eagles, the way, Colt McCoy just stepped in there and it was a train that just kept rolling. What you're seeing with Arizona is a rookie quarterback roster, meaning rookie quarterback contract roster. I mean, it's complete. Vance Joseph has done an excellent job at transforming this defense, like one of the worst defenses in the league when he took it over. Now, although their only weakness right now as a team is against the run defensively, but pretty much game script, like they're built for the lead. Like this is a great pass defense, mixes coverages, good secondary, lot of mix of good pass rushers. And when they get a lead, like they just strangle you. Offensively, like Cliff finally figured it out. And with all the weapons they have, Rondell Moore, now Zach Ertz, Hopkins, Kirk, AJ Green, who just gets one-on-ones now at will outside. It's the most explosive offense in the league. I mean, they can run what's scripted and score 30. They almost set a record last week. If it wasn't for missed field goals from Matt Prater, they would have been the first team in NFL history to score 30-plus in 5 straight road games. And if it's unscripted, with Kyler back, he might just run around and throw an 80-yard bomb to Rondell Moore. So I talked this week on the show about it. I don't think they're getting the national respect that they deserve. If you put this team in this record with somebody and you attach it to the name of like the Chiefs or the Bucks, I think people are thinking they're unstoppable. So I definitely look to lay the spread here with the Cardinals this week.
Okay, great. We can hop right next to a team that I know you have a little bit of interest in, the Philadelphia Eagles, being that you are Jim from Philly. Backup Gardner Minshew, no Jalen Hurts this week. Do you expect anything special from Gardner Minshew and the Eagles? What do you see here in this game?
I hope so. Look, they are missing their right guard, and their offensive line has been playing so well the last couple weeks, and Kelsey's been banged up. So in this game, look, Zach Wilson is not an NFL quarterback. I mean, this guy is lost pre-snap. He's lost post-snap. He's lost on the sidelines. I don't even know if he knows where to sit. That's why they play much better with Mike White and Joe Flacco. And he's talented. I'm not saying that he's not going to figure it out, but you even see Mike LaFleur, their offensive coordinator, try to simplify things for him, and like he's not even understanding that. Like one of his interceptions last week was one of the worst picks I ever seen. And in this game against the Eagles don't do anything exotically defensively, but their front four is good. And with Zach holding the ball as long as he does, I think their front four will basically be able to get sacks whenever they want in passing downs. Gardner's a little bit too of an unknown for me. So earlier in the week, I was thinking Eagles. Now it's a little bit of a stay away for me, but I would say Eagles or pass.
Okay. All right, we got I know you had something really good on Jacksonville, LA. Go ahead and take that.
Yeah. Well, who wants to not hear about the Jaguars, right? So after the Seattle game, Joe Cullen is their defensive coordinator. He comes from a Baltimore background, and he must have had an epiphany after the Seattle game, because in that Bills game, this team got way aggressive. I mean, this team is blitzing like crazy on third down, zero blitzing, playing really aggressive. And the last 4 weeks or so, they've been playing really well against the pass. They do kind of have to overcompensate for their lack of defensive tackles. Like their D linemen on the interior really get blasted in the run game off the ball. But I'm telling you, in passing downs, like they will mix coverages, they will mix blitzes. And I mean, they get after you. Like they beat the Bills. Like that wasn't a fluke. Like they took the Bills to the woodshed on defense, and they competed really good against Indy. Now, quickly switching over to offense, coaching on the offensive end is a problem with Jacksonville. Trevor Lawrence mechanics have kind of failed him the last couple weeks. I kind of mentioned on the video I sent you, but real quick, he's picking up his back foot a lot on throws. It's leading to inaccurate throws, like he's trying too hard. He's trying to fit it in windows that aren't there. So he's kind of like throwing it like a baseball. And between Urban and Darrell Bevell, another Detroit offensive coordinator, former, they just can't seem to figure it out on the offensive side. So, but I like Jacksonville this week on the spread. I'm probably going to sprinkle the money line here too, because the Rams defense has been so bad this year. If there's a get-right game for Jacksonville's offense, it could be this one.
That Rams defense cannot get off the field at all. The last two games, 40 minutes for the opposing team's time of possession. That's crazy. And it's like, if for me, I'm a Stafford fan, but I've been cheering for the Rams this year, and it's just watching them play. It's like, yeah, they can't beat the teams that are above 500. They can't beat the good teams. They went out and played Green Bay. They didn't play them tough. Like, some of the decisions that Sean McVay makes me question. I think going for, like, I know analytics probably tell you to go for it on 4th and 1, but he did that inside his own 35, I think, against Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, you're giving Aaron Rodgers a short field in the first quarter, so at that. So you're putting yourselves in a position where you have to come back and you're fighting back up the entire game. So I think some of the decision-making is kind of skewed. Like, I'm not really ready to jump off ship yet, but it's looking nasty. Hopefully that this is one of those games, for my MVP bet at least, that the Rams actually get shit together and put up some points and beat a team that they're supposed to beat and should beat. We're going to try to fly through these next few games. We got Washington, Las Vegas. I love the football team, and Taylor Heineke, man. I've been saying I love Taylor Heineke all season. He's an underdog story, and there's nothing more that I love than an underdog story. He's been in the league 5 years, but this is basically his first full 16 or full 17 games, and he'll make plays, he'll make throws. He's tough. He's gritty. Do you think that what do you see in this game from the football team? Can they go into Vegas and get a win?
Yeah, absolutely. Quickly on this game, Washington quietly has probably the best offensive line in the league. All year long, Taylor's had so much time to throw.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting today because the Raiders' D-line is very good. One of my favorites, Max Crosby, has been an animal this year, and they got a heavy D-line rotation, but Gus Bradley's a weakness for them in coverage. He basically is kind of like the Jets do. Everything is relied on their D-line to dictate the game defensively for them. So I can't give my finger on this game either. I'm a big Derek Carr fan, so I feel like Derek Carr at home, I always lean towards taking him, but I'm with you on taking Washington there, if that's the way you're going to go.
Man, they haven't let me down when I have taken them. So
that's right.
Yeah. So we may go to the well on there. I gotta throw a couple. I gotta stop betting so late, man. I threw something together yesterday that I didn't like. But San Francisco, Seattle, the 49ers are rolling. Debo out the backfield. I don't know if he's playing yet. I haven't seen an injury report for it. He's out. Okay. But man, if Kyle Shanahan could consistently do this, he would probably have a couple Super Bowl rings. If he could get this running game going and dominate time of possession like they have been doing, they're a great team, and they're going to be a tough out in the playoffs from the wild card spot. Seattle, on the other hand, I think we can lay all of that to rest. I think Pete Carroll's on his way out. I think Russ is already checked out. He just doesn't look like himself. Yeah, he doesn't look like himself. He's sailing like easy throws in the flat. He's not taking off, not using his legs. What do you see in San Francisco, Seattle? Easy win for the Niners?
Yeah, I think you got to take the Niners here. Don't take it at all. I mean, Seattle's offense is brutal to watch. Basically, they're going to try to run the ball when they can't. They have no sure passing game. The only way they get anything going offensively is deep drop play action and let Russ Cook find Tyler Lockett running all over the field. It sounds like I'm joking about it, but I'm dead serious. Like, that's pretty much what their offense is.
Yeah.
So
No, I mean,
there's no consistency with that, and the Niners are just rolling, like you said. So it's a Niners play for me, for sure.
Any offense is Russ. Yep, that looks like Tyler Lockett. DK is been completely phased out. Like, I don't even think he's looking DK's way, which is insane. But I mean, they're not putting anything together on offense. We can move on. A couple more games left. Baltimore, Pittsburgh. Big Ben has been secretly telling people that this is his last season, and I think I speak for everybody when I say thank goodness, because he's looked bad the last few years. He's looked bad this year, and it's just not there anymore. Do you see anything from Pittsburgh in this game? Because we saw on, was it Sunday night, Baltimore's pretty inconsistent too, especially from the quarterback position with Lamar Jackson having to throw the ball. Like, he was bad. 4 interceptions, and they squeaked out a win versus Cleveland. What do you see in this game?
Yeah, I don't see anything on tape for Pittsburgh to make me want to bet them. But Mike Tomlin, you got to believe that he's going to have them ready to play in a rivalry game like this. Their defense is struggling. TJ Watt, I'm not sure if he's playing, but like, pass rushers in this league are almost like quarterbacks and should be treated as such, especially elite ones, because a guy like TJ Watt is just a game wrecker. And if TJ Watt's playing, I think their defense is in any game. And the Ravens, look, this roster is depleted. They haven't looked good in every game this year. They're really dependent on Lamar to do everything for them. I mean, the offensive line is not nearly as good as it used to be. Villanueva is a liability as a tackle out there. They're not running the ball well unless Lamar's running the ball, like they're when he's throwing the ball well, they're dropping passes. And on defense, again, like, it's the same thing on offense. Like, it's a roster that's depleted. Like, they have good coaching. So John Harbaugh is able to get them to play and win consistently. But I think 4.5 is way too much for me to lay with Baltimore on the road at Pittsburgh.
There we go. We got a few questions in the chat that we'll get to, but we're going to wrap up these 2 games. Denver, Kansas City. Do you got anything for that?
I just like the Chiefs here. I think they're back, as much as I hate to say it, but the defense is just playing too well right now for me. So I would actually lay it with Kansas City here. It's trickled down to 8.5, and I think that's good value.
And finally, New England Buffalo on Monday night. Give us the Mac Jones breakdown.
Look, all I want to say about Mac Jones is, like, when I watched him when they were 1-4, that's when I felt like I look forward every week to watching him play, because their offensive line was horrible in the first 5 weeks, and you could see the only reason they were in games was because of how good he was, how good he is pre-snap, how good he is post-snap reading coverages. I mean, this guy will bail you out on third down. I mean, you think about it, Qwan, like, what's the most important things for a quarterback? Like, 3rd and long conversions, red zone. Like, these are all things he excels at, reading defenses.
No, not
so I
turning the
really
ball
saw
over.
when they were not turning the ball over. So I really saw when they were 1-4. And then what happened was, right before that 54-13 Jets blowout, they fixed their offensive line. And then all of a sudden everything started to click for them. So, look, this game, I like the Bills. I do. I would lay with the Bills. I think the Bills are the second best team to the Cardinals. I think they're the best defense in the league. Look, every defense is going to get lit up in today's NFL. So people may point to games against the Colts or the Titans and be like, how are they the best defense in the league? They lit up 34. Because every defense lits up 35 in today's NFL.
Yeah.
So I think at home in the snow, I just think the Bills' defense is too much. So I like the Bills.
There we go. We got a couple questions from Walt Beatty. Jim, what's your lock of the week? And Alec, Would love to hear your opinion on Joe Burrow.
Lock of the week. I'll go with Giants. I just like their matchup today. I like the 6.5 there. My opinion on Joe Burrow, one of my favorites. I would say he's probably, him and Herbert. Joe Burrow, has that it factor of, everybody on the team. It's like he has that Tom Brady it factor. He's very good in third down. He will, the ability for him to take a hit willingly to deliver a great ball is a very rare trait in this league. I think Joe Burrow is absolutely a top 10 quarterback right now. Franchise player, extremely bright future. I got nothing but good things to say about Joe Burrow. I'd take him on my team. There's not many I would take over Joe. So, yeah, I'm a big Joe Burrow fan.
There we go. Jim, I want to tell you, man, this was great. You're a natural. I'm going to make sure that, what are we calling this? Check the tape? Check the tape is going to be a part of the Qwan Show.
Yeah.
We're gonna make sure that we include Jim in every show moving forward. Jim, I really appreciate you coming on to the show today. Enjoy your week of betting, and I'll probably talk to you tomorrow on Last Word Cheetah.
Awesome, man. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. You're the man, bro.
No doubt. Appreciate you. That was a great show today. Listen, man, I'm excited. I got some good plays. Jim gave some great breakdowns, and this show was great. This was one of the best Qwan shows ever. I am rolling in every aspect of life. Listen, I got about 6 or 4 minutes to make a bet, put a parlay in, whatever I need to do. Go out there, win some money. That's what the goal is. Parlays to the left of them. Parlays to the right of them. Parlays in front of them. Volley and thunder. You have been watching another episode of The Qwan Show. Make sure you check us out on BetsTV.com. And remember, the only way to gamble responsibly is to win. I'll see you next week right here on The Qwan Show.